welcome to episode 2 of Lead.
already.
Come on, leading your legacy. Huh? Episode 3. Of course, episode 3 because obviously we did it was like an intro. So we did like an intro episode, and there was episode for me it was episode 1, but we'll call it episode 2, and then it's episode 3. So correct that. Episode 3 of Leading Your Legacy. Thank you, brother. And today, as always, we got a absolutely special guest. And before we go into it, I'm just gonna get a little bit of flavour of what Mr. Fyffe is on. So Mr. Fyffe started off his thing in Sylvia Young. He was doing festivals from Edinburgh in Fringe, and he was performing at Hackney Empire for Macbeth. Then he went to the short film world, getting millions of views for the work he was doing. Then he went on to be production in looking at these short films and creating one called Capture, which we're definitely going to try and capture in this podcast show.
I like that.
And seeing all of the beautiful things he's done. He's got his own production company, Illicit Pictures, which we're gonna be talking about. So we're gonna really explore this, and I'm so excited because this brother not only has done all these incredible things in the acting world, go to Cannes Film Festival, showing it in Short Film Corner, but he's also just a brother that I've been listening to and really paying attention
And been knowing as well. We've been knowing each other for a while, man.
I know, literally, bro, because it's been like, what, probably St. Charles days were like 10 years ago now?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So literally, because he was a year older than me in college, so obviously he's one of the oldest, so you know what I'm saying? The oldest are just setting pace and just running the game. So, so happy to have you on, my brother.
Thank you for having me,
and
bro.
to grace you here, man.
I love it, man.
Come on, my brother. Come on. So, let's start from the jump. Let's start from the jump. So, Andre Fyffe on the come up, young boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Before adult days, before college days, What you saying?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just a come up, man. It really is like, bro, you get to a certain age in your life, even at a very young age, I always knew I wanted to get into entertainment from the very start. Like even like 13, 14 years old, all the films I was watching and shows, and I was like, I really want to tap into this. So from a very young age, I've always known that I wanted to kind of do this. I just didn't know how I'd enter into it. But from the very beginning, I've always said, this is what I want to do. Like, like some man want to be a baller, all that stuff. Bro, when I was kicking ball, I knew I don't want to play for no football team. Like, I knew this is what I really wanted to get into. I'm just kicking around with you lot because we got nothing else to do. But in the heart of hearts, bro, I'm going for this thing. Do you get me? For sure.
That's so mad. And how do your peers take that, bro? Because I can imagine if they're not really on the acting, creative world, entertainment world, they might be looking at you like, like what? Entertainment? Like, I kind of know, but why are you? Did you get any of that from your peers, or was it just quite calm?
I think even from a young age, like, I've always been my own individual. Like, so I grew up in Northwest Stonebridge, and
for sure,
you have different people, different groups, and I was really fortunate enough to be around everybody, and I just had my own style and my own way. So in my teens, I always do what I want. So people just know, like, Andre's gonna do what he wants.
Got you, bro.
Do you get me? So regardless, I never thought about what everyone else thinks or what everyone else is doing.
That's good.
I just do my own thing, and everyone just knows that Andre does his own thing. 100. Do you get me? So I've always been respected in regards to that. So I've never had to say to man, think about other people's thoughts or feelings about what man's doing.
Good.
And that's bad and good stuff. Do you get me? Like, if I'm going to do something mad, bro, I'll just do it. No one's stopping me. And if I'm doing something good, no one's stopping me. I've had that mentality, and I've been able to utilize that mentality, but put it more into the good stuff that I'm doing.
100. I love that, my brother. And I really wanted to raise that point because I feel like some people, when they're younger, especially when they get older as well, they turn like sheep, innit? They're a little bit like, certain man are saying I shouldn't do this, certain man saying I shouldn't do that. And to some extent, I was one of those people when I was younger where I was like, I want to rap, like I want to do this, like I want to get into law. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, it was
in the rapper stage. It's the rapper stage. Start writing the bars down. Like, I might try this out. Everyone's rapping. I might as well be a rapper as well. No,
you know the ones back in the day, everyone and their dad was rapping. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, innit? But from my perspective, it was like, cool, when I'm trying to shape my path, how do I do it? And I'm really glad in your world that you saw the value in following what you saw.
Man. And you know what? You quickly start to realize that if you don't, you're just going to end up going down some kind of other rabbit holes, and you start to realize that, nah, I don't really want to do that. Like, we all want to provide for our family. We all want to make money. So it's just how about the way in which you want to go about it. Do you get me? So at some points, you start to realize really quickly on, like, I'm not that fast, so I'm not going to be a runner. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really good at ball like that, so I'm probably not going to be a baller. So you start to realize at some point you start to have real realization and go, raw, like,
Yeah.
this is not what I'm really good at. This is not my pattern.
Yeah.
And quickly on, I was just like, yo, like, I'm good at making people laugh, or I'm good at like pretending, and I'm like, yo, I really like watching films and making films. So I was like, yo, like, this is my bag. I found my bag, and I'm just going to go for it now.
Yeah, hard.
And, do you know what I mean? And that's what it's about.
Yeah, that's what it's about, my brother. And talk to us about going through it at that stage where, you know, I can imagine when you're like 16, 17, 18, that's when you start to really get into it at college days, and you're really starting to create that path of understanding it. So what was that like for you, my brother?
It was great, bro. Like you said about Sylvia Young. So I was going Sylvia Young when I was about 13, 14.
Hard, yeah.
And I was going like 3 days a week, and then Sundays just on the weekends. And then when I got to like my older years, I had already achieved like little things, like little stage shows, little commercials here and there. So by this point now, I'm like 16, 17.
At that time, bro.
When I was like 16, when I was 16, I had already done like a few commercials. So by 16, 17, I don't have to argue with my mom about like I'm gonna do this, because we've already come home. We've already come home with results, bro. I'm not talking about like again, like I hear when people say, oh, like, don't have supportive parents. I was very fortunate to have a supportive mother, because bro, by 16 we've already brought in this type of money. So in a black household, money talks. ain't nothing better.
That's real life.
Ain't nothing better. So when you get some commercial money, and you remember I'm on 18, so my mom's gonna get that money, right? So mom gets paid for me messing about, and I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun with it. I just want to do it. I'm just having fun with it. I'm not even really deep in that. For this month, my mom is good because of me having fun, me going for my dream.
That's mad.
Cool. I get to like 17, 18 now, and I'm really around it, auditioning, all that stuff. And I remember even before I came here, I was even thinking about it, like at 16, 17, when I used to go for auditions, and I see like all these youths, and like they all look like me, you know, they got the earring in, we all like, and I'm like for myself, I'm like, shit, like it is like, it is really out there, and it's really available. When you go to auditions, you start to see that you're not the only one that wants it. So then now you start to realize about competition. Even when I was at Sylvia Young, I said to one of my boys recently, he's an actor as well, and I said, Sylvia Young really taught me about competition and really made me realize not just my craft, but like it's really available, but you have to work for it. My teacher wasn't afraid to let me know, like, it's going to be difficult, it's not going to be easy. There's an agency, but they only have this amount of kids on the roster, so you got to fight for your spot, and then you got to stay in your place, like you got to work for your spot. So it's like me seeing that and going to auditions on a regular basis and seeing other boys who look and sound like me, who are just as talented, and me go, cool, this talent thing cannot just be enough. I have to put in this work, and I better start putting it in now, so that 10 years from now, where we are now, I can really go, yo, we really put in the work back then, and now we've really seen results because of it. So by 17, 18, I'm doing loads of auditions, and then I end up getting the Macbeth job.
Crazy,
the Empire, and you go on a big tour.
In college as well,
and that's in college. And even when we was in college, I had already done some of my own little short films.
Oh yeah,
and we'd done some commercials as well, and just seeing that progression and slowly like the building blocks of all of those stuff, and it just makes you realize like it's just available. It's there for you to grab it. And I tell people all the time, once you know what you want, just go for it. Like when I work with my young people, I always say, yo, like you figured it out. Like you're one step ahead. Because some people would take years, and that's not a problem. But some people take years to find out. I got people my age still not really sure what they want to do, and that's not this. But it's like you got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out early.
Life is moving, the world is spinning quickly. So we need to figure it out and start going for what we really want to get for in this life. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, that's really, really inspiring, brother. And what inspires me most about your journey is the fact that when you was studying and when you was grinding and when you're trying to generate income and try and show Marge like, this is available and, you know, I'm going to create success out of this. There wasn't that feeling of, what if this, what if that, what if this? You ain't got time to think about that.
No,
you know
not at all. And you know, it's, with the what if situations, it's always like, if you gravitate to that and you start to think, oh, like backup plans, or what if it don't work, then you don't put in enough focus and energy to it, in my opinion. I feel like you have to be super committed.
Got you.
Do you know what I mean? If I wanted to be a doctor, it'd be the same thing. I'm going to have to say, I want to be a doctor, and I'm going to have to do these things, and I'm going to put my time, money, and effort into this thing.
There you go.
I'm not going to start thinking, what if I don't become it? There's no what ifs. And if you're a faithful person, you believe in God, then it's like, nah, like this is my purpose. I found it. Now I just need to go get it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And I need to just go get it with all my heart and soul into it and put everything in, and you'll see the result. Do you know what I mean?
Come on, my bro. I love that still, and I love the confidence in that, because I think what I want people to understand about their legacy and understanding about what they're trying to create for their children's children and for their community is that when you're trying to create it, if you don't have that drive and that hustle to build it, blood, like, it's gonna be really hard to do that, because they're relying on your hustle to get it, or they're gonna have to hustle themselves, and then what's your role in?
Exactly that.
You know what I'm saying, fam? It's crazy, bro. And when it comes down to your journey, still, and you know, you're transitioning from that college period where obviously you're, you know, was at St. Charles, and like obviously, you know,
St. Charles. I big out to St. Charles College, man. It was a litty committee, man. Yo,
I litty committee in St. Charles, man. I just St. Charles, man.
Oh my gosh, in the canteen.
Oh, bro.
Oh, God.
Catwalk, the catwalk. You know the catwalk.
It's in the catwalk. Oh no! Everyone watching each other like, rah. Oh, that's the Northwest youths over there. That's the South youths over there. That's the too much fun.
Bro, those days were legendary, bro. And
absolutely.
Even on those days, bro, like I'm just so curious to understand from your perspective. Obviously, like, you know, how did you find just like college as an experience for you, like whilst you're acting, but also like, how did you stay like grounded and stay still like youthful in this time? Because you're going out here doing this, hustling and still with people. Like, did you find it easy, or what was your process?
I think you find the balance in everything. Like, you find the love of what you do, and then you're also going to college and you're working. And when I was studying in St. Charles, I was having great time. You having mad fun,
crazy fun,
laughter in the canteen, playing cards,
making songs,
making songs, everything. We're still young, we enjoying life. Yeah. But like I said, it's like in the back of my mind, I know that this will come to an end. We only here for 2 years. Some man stay for a bit longer, whatever.
Some man stay longer.
But deep down in your heart, you know, like, I'm having great fun, but I definitely want to keep pursuing and pushing 100. This other thing. And all my boys knew what I was doing as well. So sometimes like I'd leave St. Charles on Wednesday, go to auditions in Central, and come back, go home, do you know what I mean, do the work, and then Thursday, sometimes miss a lesson, go to like a workshop, go back, blah, blah. I had my agent used to text me and email me.
That's mad.
And I used to be like, in my lessons, like texting my agent like, no, I can't do tomorrow, but can we do Friday instead?
man said he's revising.
And I got my timetable like, no, I can't do that because I need to be in my psychology class, but right after I could be at the audition.
I love that story.
And I used to be like back and forth. I remember auditioning for some big shows, like even, and not getting it as well. And then that would piss me off.
Fam.
It's like I'd not get the job, and I still have to go back to college and do college and still try like save face, because rejection is a big thing in the game.
Big thing.
And it's like people don't talk about it enough, but it's a lot of it. And you're going through all the rejection, and then you still have to still go college and still, like I said, the world is still spinning. Teachers not hearing that you're not feeling the work, or you're not doing this because you're low because you've got rejection. They don't care. And you just manage it. You just start to realize that it's not personal. They chose him because he's taller, wider, whatever the reasons are, and you just get over it, and you're like, all right, cool, next one. And then you just go to college and you just continue, enjoy college for what it is. But in the back of my mind, I'm knowing I got to do more, and I want to do more. So that's why we did all those extra fun stuff at college, those extra drama lessons. My teacher, even at drama at college, Miss Nash, the teacher, she was
Miss Nash,
she was such a great teacher. Shout out to her, man. She was like always like asking me what's going on outside. She was really like interested in all my moves. She always gave me like some pointers. She told me about drama school.
100.
So when we came to the ends of college, I applied for drama school. I applied for like 9 drama schools.
Mad.
I got to finals for every 9.
Mad.
Bar RADA Royal Dramatic Arts. I can't remember what that. I know, but RADA got to 4th round, never got to finals. 5th round is RADA, finals is 5th. So I got to finals for every single drama school, and they rejected me, and it was all
everyone
like in a week, bro.
Everyone.
And we got exams around this time.
Nah, that's
so I'm getting rejections back to back to back in a week, and the reasons are like, you're too young. Because obviously I didn't know this, but like drama schools, sometimes they don't want you to just come out straight out of college. They want you to be or have done some kind of life experience stuff. It's like whatever. So, but also you have to bear in mind at this point, I was very fortunate to already have like an agent. I already had been doing some stuff. I had already done some little YouTube things. So in my mind, I was like, well, if I don't get into drama school, it's not the be all and end all, because there are now other routes that I'm available and I'm aware of.
100.
So
got you.
So I'm like, cool, there's all these rejections. I still got to do my exams for history.
I
still got to do my exam for psychology, my drama exam. I still got to do all my exams, man. My English literature exam. I still got to do it.
That's crazy.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, how did they reject me today? Like, I gave my all, and you have to do some monologues. Like, you have to do at least 3 or 4 monologues. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And they be giving you notes. You have to learn that Shakespeare stuff off the top of your head. Like,
that's crazy.
The judges are not expecting you to come in there with the paper in your hand.
Nah, you got to know it properly. Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that and this, and I'm juggling it. And then there'll be days, don't get me wrong, there'll be days when I'm sitting around like not really feeling to talk too much today because I'm not really in the mood. I'm trying to figure out how can I have fun but also get this next step. And I think it was a blessing as well. Like, sometimes you don't see it then, but now looking back, I feel like not going to drama school allowed me to open up doors to start producing and then making my own stuff, because I'm auditioning for other people's stuff and I'm doing those tours and I'm doing other people's films and whatever. And then I had a chance to I had the time, because I wasn't going to drama school. I was at home, I was doing an apprenticeship, and then through that apprenticeship, I was able to then start learning how to actually make my own stuff. Like, with quality, with the right team, etc. How to get funding. So that kind of like segued me into producing.
Hard.
So in a way, if I did go to drama school, I wouldn't have the time to learn and understand that part of the business.
Got you.
And most actors never really do understand that part of the business. They just turn up, they perform, and they leave.
That's wavy.
And it's nice that I know a little bit of both sides, and it's really helped me and moved my career in a different kind of way. Which I really look back and I appreciate the closed doors, because now I've opened up another door that I didn't even know that would segue me into, do you know what I mean, a new thing.
That's wavy, bro. That's so wavy, bro. And the reason why it's wavy, because you can recognize the joy of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get rejected at time, it's an emotional response. You're like,
of course.
Oh, like, how are you gonna reject me? Like, I put in mad work to do this. But then there's other part of it where you figured out where it's like, actually, no, that actually paved a lot of doors for me, because now I'm able to be more autonomous in what I'm trying to do.
And you have to remember as well, like, man, I was also auditioning for these jobs and stuff and realizing, like, well, I'm in a room, I looked around and went, there's 20 man in the room today. We're all auditioning for this one job.
It's weird, man.
Yo, we all look alike, we all sound alike. I'm just like, if I don't get this job, it can't be the be all and end all, because it's not. I can't ride on this one job. And then there are times when I audition for these jobs and get it, and then there are times when I don't get it. So I have to go to myself, yo, this is also a numbers game. Do you know what I mean? The more I do, the more I'm gonna get better, and the more I may get.
100.
But there are times when it won't be for you because you're just not the right fit.
That's real.
And it doesn't mean that man's still not a great actor. It just means that I'm just not the right fit for that particular job.
There you go.
And when I started to learn that, I started to realize the next thing now is to just create what I want to make and see, and then put myself or certain actors who I really want to work with in it, rather than we're waiting for this special moment or show or film to be made for then all of us to be in it, because it may never actually happen.
You've got to make happen yourself.
Right. And at that point, you're like, all right, cool, how do I make it happen for myself? Go back to St. Charles real quick.
Go back, throw back.
I did the cabaret thing.
Oh man!
I did the cabaret thing, and I was a presenter on that. And then the deputy head. What's the brother?
Was it Sloan? Was it Sloan?
The Monopoly man.
Oh yeah, man.
I had to say that on the podcast. Monopoly man.
Yeah?
If you're from St. Charles, you know what I'm talking about.
We do know.
Cool. So Monopoly man came up to me. If you know, you know. Monopoly man came up to me and was like, oh, Fyffe, can I speak to you? And man, when you call him by my surname, he's like, I don't even know man's name. But I know he's deputy head though. Call me to the side.
Oh, what?
He's like, yo, you were great at the cabaret, blah, blah, blah. You know who you should talk to? You should speak to this guy. His name's called Fyffe Oyeneran.
Oh, my man.
Come to this college.
Yeah, that's wavy. That's wavy.
Around that week, God is good. Around that week, I had just released a little short film. This was my first little short film I made, and made it with some friends in college at the time. My boys up to today. And he introduced me to Femi. I showed Femi my short film. Femi like, yo, who made this film?
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, me and my brethren made this film. Like, I got some cameras and we filmed it at my mom's crib. We filmed it at my boy's crib. And we just filmed it. Do you get me? And he's like, yo, who edited it? And I was like, yo, well, look, I edited it because my editor, he like flopped me.
That's
so
crazy.
I just got up YouTube and
That's
I was like,
crazy.
how to edit a film.
That's the point.
And
that's a lesson still.
Watched these videos.
Yeah, that's
and then went back to my film, then watched more videos, then went back to my film,
crazy.
back and forth,
Crazy,
and then just like figured it out. And then Femi was like, yo, take my number.
Mm.
And then that's how I ended up like knowing and then eventually working with Femi.
Wavy.
And Femi's like a big brother to me now, like a proper mentor. And we like really kick it. And it's like, again, it's that whole notion of I'm still gonna find a way to go about my dreams.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And then on the journey of that, people are either gonna help you or they're just gonna watch you make it. It's one or the other. If someone wants to help you, they help you. If 100. They don't, it's fine because I'm still gonna find my way and people are gonna know about it.
There you go.
And again, it's about opening them doors. So St. Charles had its thing, had its flavor. So again, it's like if I went to drama school, I may have never had met Femi. Or got certain opportunities, so it's like everything happens for a reason, innit? And the dots connect only afterwards. You don't see it connecting at the time.
That's mad, bro.
And even like certain things that's happened to me recently, where I'm like, raw, like I would have never been in, like I was in Philadelphia last year. I would have never been in Philly last year with this film if I had never took on that opportunity and then connected that person to this person, to that person, 100. And then I blink and I'm in another, I'm in the States. I'm like, how did this happen today? And I'm just looking back on the whole thing going, you see, it all often starts from a closed door. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, you're sad about that one closed door, but then that next door that opens up is that thing that really segues you in. Do you know what I mean?
That's incredible, bro. And the thing I love about it was the fact that you saw that, cool, I can't provide that skill via somebody else coming in, so let me upskill myself and then let me create it. And I think that's also another key part of what I understand about this game, which is when you're really trying to create something of substance, you can't rely on everybody else to come in and make that substance, because end of the day, like you can't essentially like rely on everybody to do it for you, because if you do, then you're putting too much out of your own hands when it comes down to your vision of what you want it to become. Because if you did get an editor on that short film and they just didn't really care about it and just said, yeah, man, I'm gonna edit it,
it'd be a throwaway. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, it's a collaborative process. I want to work with loads of people, but at the start of it, sometimes you have to realize that actually this is mine, and I'm gonna take care of it and put all the effort in, because maybe an external person won't do it. And that's just at the start of it. But as you get older and you get stronger in your career, you start to realize that actually it's just about finding the right team. And that comes, again, with skill. That comes with time and knowing temperaments, how to work with people. As a producer, that's the goal. Bro. I'm on set with like 200 people, 60 to 200 people. Crazy, and you have to know, is this group good to work with this group? Because we're about to work on this film for like 31 days.
That's crazy.
I need people to work together really well. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no drama on my set. So therefore, I need to know how to work with people. I need to think really well. Like, would it be a good idea to put these types of people together in a room? What would that cause? What kind of work will I make if I bring those kind of people together? Because at the end of the day, that's what the film is going to look and feel like. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a skill, and you only learn that through trial and error. I don't think no school, no building can teach you that.
Absolutely.
I think it's just by when you do it, you go, right, I see why this film was a success, and I know why that film wasn't a complete success. Because maybe not just the way it came out, but also the process of that making of that film. There were too many hands on pies, and like there's all that stuff. So you're constantly learning as you grow.
Definitely, that's inspiring, man. And this actually really formed more to like my thought in terms of like what I really want people to understand about your journey, which is when you evolve from that period in your life where you was at college, you was meeting all these incredible people, they were connecting the dots for you, and you start to carve your way as an actor and producer. What was the key moments in those journeys where you clocked, raw, like, man's actually gonna make this happen? Like, this is actually coming true. Like, what was that moment for you? Like, or were there multiple moments?
No, there's multiple moments, and there will never be, even to this point. Like, there's still moments where you sit around and you realize, like, this is really happening. It'd be like, and sometimes it's the smallest things. Like, I remember I did an advert for Volvic, and we rapped, and on the last day, I was going back to my trailer, and then they told me, "Oh, Andre, 1 second, come back out." And they all came out, and then the whole crew, everyone was out there, and we were all clapping. And I was like to myself, "Yo, damn, like we just did a commercial for some big brand."
Come on,
and I'm just like, shit, those moments. And even like with Macbeth, go back to Macbeth. We were on tour with Macbeth. Shout out to my whole Macbeth cast, and we were in Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and it's like the last week of the show. And I remember just standing behind the stage, and it's all dark and stuff. And I'm just standing behind the stage. I'm just standing there thinking, yo, like, I'm playing a lead role in a big show. And, like, it all, like, I feel the weight, but I feel good. Yeah. Like, I feel the weight and I feel how important it is. Yeah. But I feel good doing it.
100%.
And it's like, yo, this is crazy. And I look like over the curtain, you know, the curtains there, and this little peak you can see. And yo, it's a full house.
Crazy.
I'm like,
fam. That's what I meant to be.
I'm nervous as hell, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I can see like the first 4 rows got bare kids as well, and they got their Macbeth scripts and everything. Man. So you know they're about to follow like line for line, bar for bar. They're about to check me.
That is pressure.
I better get these lines right, because these lot are studying it for GCSE type thing. And I'm like looking through, I'm just thinking, yo, like there's a moment here, and I'm like, there's a moment where I just feel like the work that I put in earlier is starting to show. And I'm constantly feeling that, even like last year when I was in America. Again, it's that moment of just sitting in a cinema and you see your film get shown in front of all these people, and you're like, crazy. Damn, like it's really happening, it's really working, and you appreciate the process more. Because it is a process, and there's no way around that part. It's a process. You have to go through all these blocks. And that's just how it goes. There's no one could prep you for that, because everyone's process will always be different. It's similar, but it's always so different.
It's always so different, bro. And no one can prep you for it. And I really love how you're expressing yourself, because I genuinely feel like when you're in these moments in life where you're alluding to, like, you know, people are recognizing, you know, that this is, you know, artistry. You know what I'm saying? We're going beyond just creating a production now. Like, we're creating moments in time that when people watch it, we really admire and appreciate that. And I can definitely genuinely see how your preparation for that was really, let me put things together however I can and build whatever dots I can, and then let me hustle, but then let me not stop there and then try and say, let me rest on my laurels and accept the applause. Let's use that to fuel this next iteration
and the next thing
and the next thing. And I really want to understand from your perspective, like, as somebody who has their own production company, and as somebody who, you know, has done really well, and, you know, have a film coming out called My Jerome, which hopefully will be out soon. You know, like, talk more about like that process of using your past experiences to really help that to excel, because I think, given the fact it's your most, from what I understand, it's your latest journey in creating a short film via your production company, what lessons did you learn from the other parts of your journey to make that happen? And just talk about that.
That's a good question. I think it's that whole thing of trial and error. I've made loads of films prior to this.
I know, bro.
I had made some films with a company called MYM
Youth Media.
So we made loads of films over there, and budgets, all the drawn out films, all of these films where we made films with like no views, got like the films are terrible, in my opinion, and then we made the films just get better and better, because you're just getting sharper and sharper with your craft, and the films and the audience start to grow. People start to tell you like, oh, this film was really good because these things, and I didn't like this film because of these things, and you're starting to figure out the audience that you're trying to lean into, the stories that you want to tell. So you're constantly growing in this way, And then now we fast forward to My Jerome, and it's the same thing. It's like, My Jerome is about a mother who gets ready to go to court to find out if her son goes to jail or not. Now, we never see the son, and we don't even know what he is in jail for, really. It's never really established, because I wanted to tell a perspective of the mother, because when we had conversations with me and the director, we talked about who's the victim in those kind of situations.
That's crazy.
And we were like, like, our mothers are the ones that are majorly affected by the decisions that we make.
100%.
Especially when we're talking about like crime and in the hood and all that stuff.
100%.
Now, I've made loads of different types of films. This is just one genre that I wanted to lean into at this time.
100%.
And me and the director was going back, a shout out to Ajani, and we were like, this is what we want to do. We want to lean into this perspective and the culture of it as well. And you know, you got them black parents that be like, yeah, my son would never do this thing, and it's like, nah, mumsy, like your son really be the guy on really like out here, inside the middle of the whole situation, right?
He's outside.
So we wanted to really like lean into that and make that film, and the film has done really well. It's gone to like loads of festivals. It won some awards now.
Fantastic news.
It comes out sometime this year with Channel 4.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's been a journey, man, and I can't stop. Sometimes I have these moments where I have to stop and rest and say to myself, yo, thank God. But then it's like, cool, what's next? And now it's like, the next thing is we've made all these shorts, and I'm working on a TV show.
Fantastic.
And now I'm like, I really want to make a feature film, and there's so many friends of mine who've gone on to make some amazing movies.
Come on.
And I'm like, I want to be able to do the same.
100%.
And it's like, I've noticed that you can wait. I don't mind as an actor as well. I don't mind auditioning and being in other people's films and movies, but there's something even more creative when you get to make your own.
Yeah,
because then you get to tell your own story. You get to show the culture, show the characters that you really want to make and show, and you get to work with people that you really want to work with.
100%.
Because I don't want to wait on some thing to just align. I want to aid that from to happening. 100%. If I really like your work and I like so and so's work and I like her work, then why not put the right people in a room and make something magical? Why are we waiting for someone else? I don't want to put it to someone else's hands. I want to use my hands and make that happen. So yeah, we get the opportunity to work on a film like My Jerome, which is like a British Jamaican household. We get to see all the nuances of that from me coming from a Jamaican household, and still getting to tell a universal conversation and story.
100%.
And when people watch that film, like people would like come to tears, man. It's a beautiful film. It moves really well, and I'm super proud of that film. It's one of my favorite films that I've made up to date, and I'm always gonna make more, and then my top 5 films always shifts and changes. But for now, it's in my top 5 until it gets too old, and then there's a new one that kind of takes that spot. But yeah, no, I'm really proud of all of my work. Even the films that weren't that good, because the ones that weren't that good, I learned a great deal from, like, even to who I worked with on those projects. To just the execution of it and going, oh, right, I see why that film didn't do so well over this film that got millions of views. I can go, all right, cool, I get it now. And then I learn from that, and I grow again. And I've always realized it really boils down to the story that you really want to tell. That it really does start with that. It starts with a great story. And then it expands to then getting the funding, to the team, to the execution, to then releasing it to an audience, and you take care of every single step, and that will make you a stronger and better producer, and that's exactly what we're doing now.
That's fantastic, man, and I love the evolution of your artistry, because from my perspective, it means that you've been able to, you know, be an actor, you know, appear, you know, at Cannes Film Festival, as you said, like appear in music videos. Like sometimes I just no word of a lie, I sometimes go and watch a music video, and I just go on GM Daily, and then I see a pastor, and I'm like, who's this brother? Like, wait, that's my man. And I was moments in there. I
went to college with him. I know this brother. I know that brother.
But I went to college with him. You know them ones, and that's as I said, like, yo, blood, like, yo, fam, you remember these ones. And literally, it's just so much love, because I'm just like, yo, he's really out here just pushing it. And it's not just like you're doing it because, oh, man, just trying to get this opportunity, and man, just trying to be seen. It's more like, let me do things that I want to do. And every role that I've seen you do, it's always based on some sort of values that I know that you might have, or some sort of situation that I could assume that you would relate to in that sense. And I really want to understand, in terms of like going forward in your life and your journey, what kind of principles in terms of your character and your morals, or in terms of like how you conduct your business, do you think is going to help take you to that level of global success? Because I know you had a lot of national success in, you know, the film industry, and you're starting to become global now. You're going to Philadelphia, you've been seen at Cannes Film Festival a few years ago, so you're starting to get international outreach. But from your perspective, it might not be something that you have thought about. It's just something that I was thinking. It's like, what principles are you going to take with you to help make sure that your legacy as Andre Fyffe, it becomes a global legacy in that respect?
How does it stay that? I think, you know, you have to know where your morals lie, because because there will always be tests throughout your moments in your career where it always boils down to what man stands for.
100%.
Because what man stands for is how he moves.
100%.
So
yeah, you got.
So you stand for certain things in life. I stand for certain things in life, and I know like I'm always gonna make sure when I make the films I make or act in certain films, I want to portray a certain type of black man.
100%.
Or I want to portray a certain type of story.
Got you.
So therefore, I have more scrutiny towards the type of stories that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
I question everything.
Yeah.
I make sure that those are the kind of principles I lean on. So that no matter the opportunity, no matter if it's international or local or global, whatever, I can always go back to the key principles on what I'm leaning on.
Got you.
Which are like why does he say what he says? Why does he do what he does?
Yeah.
If we're talking about the film or the character. And then even with the film, what are we trying to say with this film? What's the message that we're trying to say?
There you go.
You feel me?
Yeah,
we have a company, yeah. My company's called Illicit Pictures. Now the word to elicit means to provoke thought or change in somebody. Exactly. So even when we make films, we want to say to ourselves, when we finish watching this film, what do we hope our audience will feel at the end of this?
Mm-hmm.
If we can make sure that our film does that and provokes some type of thought or change, that's a successful film to us.
100%.
Because that's what we want to do. We want to challenge audience perspective, and we want to make them question and think about what we just saw.
Got you.
You feel me? Even before My Jerome, we did a film. I worked on a film called Barry the Beekeeper.
Yeah.
And Barry the Beekeeper was with ITV, and it was about Barry. He's obviously a beekeeper, and he's got his community in Liverpool, and it's one of the oldest Caribbean communities. Great. And we watched this documentary about this man who's not only just taking care of himself as an old man, but also trying to take care of his community and also trying to maintain this career of being a bees man,
real life story,
a beekeeper, real life story. So watching this man go through this whole journey, and then by the end of it, you start to realize that actually it's not really about. It is about the bees, but it's also about just life and about how you carry and hold yourself. And it's a bit about that whole thing about legacy, about trying to maintain this community because it's a part of who he is and his legacy. Yeah. And when people watch that film, they really love it. And even me, at first I didn't even notice that message coming through until like towards the end of the film. I was like, right, this is the message that we're really pushing. And it really means that when people watch it, they can go, this is what it's about. It's about building a community like the bees do, and really taking care of each other and growing. And it's even like, not to be religious, but even in the Bible, it talks about that stuff about like to be like the ants and the bees, right? And to work in harmony. Crazy. And it's all that kind of stuff as well. It's like, we want to make films that are purposeful. We don't want to just make no kind of film.
100%.
And I don't mind those kind of films because we need every type of version, right? We need films that entertain, But even when I want to entertain you and make you laugh, I still want some kind of message to be given to you. Because that's what, for me and my experience was growing up. Those films I love and enjoyed, there was always some kind of key message that I'm walking away from. And then those are the messages that you can implement in your life. So I feel like that's such a big question,
wavy,
but it's about standing on your key principles. So no matter how big the opportunity is, when it arises, it's about going, okay, cool, I'll do that big job, but why does the character say what he does? Or why does he do what he do? What are we trying to say at the end of the film? Cool. If it don't line up with the morals that I want to say and do, then it's a no from me. And yes, because it has those things, or yes, we can make it those things.
Got you, bro.
And then therefore we now can have fun with it and make a great project. Do you know what I mean?
That's wavy, bro. And it's a big question because, I'm excited for where you're going to go because I think, when the audience really taps into understanding, who you are and what you've done and how you've done it, I think they're going to come to a conclusion, which is obviously everyone else come to their own conclusion. But my conclusion that I'm coming to is that, you've really set a pathway to, a success that can't necessarily succumb to other people's perceptions of you, because when you started off in the game, that wasn't the case.
No.
When you made a relationship with like Femi, that wasn't the case. When you went on to met Beth and you was there doing the show, that wasn't the case. You curated a pathway that allowed you to do things in an authentic way.
Yeah.
So when you're working like a sci-fi kind of hood film, you know what I'm saying, like in capture, you know, when you're acting in it and then you're bringing it out. For me, that reminded me of Attack the Block. A little bit, you know what I'm saying, like with John Boyega. So when I remember watching it, like I was watching it like years ago. I'm like, yeah, bruv, I see your vision for this. Like, you're trying to recreate and recapture how the ends can be from a different genre, you know, and you're trying to change the perception of how media works. And I think that was a really cool thing. That was like, what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. So it wasn't recently. Do you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're on this journey now and you're working with ITV, you know, you got this BA5 film coming out and Channel 4, you know, you're able to create this space to be able to occupy it in your way. And as we come to an end of the podcast show and we really understand more about you as a man, you know, as somebody who's obviously a son, as somebody who, you know, has a family, you know, what do you think are the key things that people can really take from their journeys in their lives, not just in the acting world, but just in their lives, about, you know, what they can learn from, you know, your struggles, you know, your creativity and your hustle? Like, what do you want to share with them? Like, what do you want them to take from them?
I say this all the time. When I work with young people, I say this all the time. It's about, like I said, it's about knowing what you want. And then once you know, it's to really just go for it. I think if I have a career that does that and shows people like, there's this one person that we know and inspired by because he just goes for it. Yeah. I think that would mean a lot. And when I work with young people all the time, I always say this as well, like, it's to dream big dreams, right? But to realize short-term realistic goals are the key to success.
There you go.
I say this all the time. It's in my bio. Like, I live by this term, man. Because you can have the biggest dreams you want, but you have to sit down, break the dream down into little small goals, realistic small goals, and go for it. Do you know what I mean?
100.
And yeah, like, outside of that, it's understanding no matter what it is that you want, because you don't have to be in the entertainment. You can watch my career and go, all right, cool, I'm not into what Andre's into, but I'm into this thing, but it's the same principles still apply, which is, I need to have some kind of level of integrity. I got to have my principles. I'm always going to ask myself, no matter what job or situation I'm in.
There you go.
And I'm going to have these clear, small, realistic goals as I approach the big thing that I want. Yeah. And it's okay if they shift and change. Because when I was 16, I wanted certain things. And then when I got to 18, I wanted something slightly different. And now I still, similar things, but ever so slightly different. They are always shifting and changing. And that comes down to knowledge and perception. 100%. You feel me? That your perception changes. You work with different people and you realize, I don't really want what he wanted. Like, there was a time where most actors wanted to get into soap. Most actors, let's say, for example. But then you realize, actually, I don't really want to do the soap thing. Yeah. So then you don't go for it. You don't push for it no more. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, bro.
It's those things. But at the start, you didn't know because
you wasn't doing it.
You weren't doing it, and you didn't know what it entailed. And now you know. You're like, actually, I don't really want to do that. You get me? And that's what it is. And that's the same with any career. You wanted to be a lawyer, but you may be not that type of law. You want to do this type of law because you realize that law is not the version that you want to. Right. So it's constantly shifting and changing, and that's the to be adaptable. Do you get me? I say this all the time. In the hood, we don't judge you on how you move, but how you adapt.
There you go.
Things be coming at you different ways, and it's about actually how does them man adapt to things. Real. That's how you know what a real person is. That's how people say, oh, he's real. He's real because in these situations he did these types of things. There you go. That's what made him real. There you go. And that's what it's about. That's wavy, man. And I think that's a really, really strong point to really bring this to a summary. So, brother, I really, really appreciate your time. Yeah. You know, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this show. You know, I really can see your vision for, you know, what you want to create in the creative, in the media world, and also in terms of like what your vision is for the industry as well. So that's really powerful. In terms of where people can find you, what people should be looking out for, is there anything that, you know, you'd like them to look out for, or where they can find you on socials? And my social media. Oh, bro. Social media is so bad. I think my Instagram was popping. Yeah. And then I got hacked. Oh, everyone's getting hacked now. Getting hacked. Bro, it's crazy. Instagram, sort it out. I want my old Instagram back. God damn. They took it. No, but I'm starting from scratch. Don't worry, bro. My Instagram is the same. All my handles are the same. So it's Andre Fyffe _.
Calm.
All my handles are the same. I don't make it difficult to find me.
Yeah, good.
And then all my links and my bios and stuff. All my films is all over the place. But
Trust
but
me,
there's
bro.
ways to find it. Once you find one, you start to find all the others, and it's like that. And yeah, I got my new film coming out this year. I don't have a date yet, but once the date is out, it'll be all over socials, and we're really proud of that film. We're in development on loads of other films, so you're gonna hear so much. Do you know what I mean? I'm working on a TV show which I can talk about. Actually,
let's talk about the TV
it's
show. Bro.
TV show called Outlaws. The Outlaws. It's on BBC One.
Excellent.
With Amazon Studios, and I'm assistant producer on that. So that will come out. What month are we in? Where about?
Yeah, end of April.
Alright, so it will come out sometime in October, November. That's season 3. So season 1 and 2 is out already, so you can go watch that. And I'm assistant producer on that. And it's about, you get to work on these big shows. Yeah. And you realize that the same principles still apply. Do you get me? And the same rules apply. It's just on a bigger scale. Yeah. And I've made quite a lot of short films. So when I work on these big TV shows, I'm like, oh, it's the same thing. It's just that there's more people and there's more money and more time.
Yeah, more budget.
More budget. But it's the same principles apply. Like, you know what I mean? If we want to film in this area, we gotta get permission. It's the same thing, just on a bigger scale. And it's nice to see that, because then you realize, again, as a young man, I watch that and I go, all right, so it's available then. Yeah, it's possible.
100.
And it's real. Yeah. So yeah, back to my handles. That's my
hard,
handles. And my company's Illicit Pictures.
Come on.
And again, all the handles are the same.
Illicit Pictures.
It's in my bio as well, so you can find that. And all our films, we upload it all the time. So yeah.
That's wavy, man. Even on the Outlaws thing, man, I'm excited to see that come to fruition as well, my brother. Because it surprised me, seeing you having, roles that are creating things that are nationally respected. I think it's a given, given what you've been doing over the past 10, 11 years in terms of the game. So yeah, for me, I'm so happy to see you getting that recognition, because I know when you was on the come up in the early stages, and it was like, bruv, like, man's trying to, but it's a bit, man's trying to break it, and man's broke the barrier down, and now the industry is starting to recognize, the legacy that you're looking to leave behind. I think it's incredible, bro. And
yeah, man, it's important.
It's so important.
That's how you get recognized as well. I know, like, legacy is important, man. That's all you leave behind. You know what I mean? All you have is your name, man. People say that all the time in your industry. When you say certain man's name in the industry, you know exactly what it is. You know what that name represents. That's what we want. When man say my name, they know what that is.
They know it's
what
like
that
Denzel coming through like a trading day.
Exactly. You know what the name represents. Respect on my name.
Come on, man. When they hear the 5 come, they know, fam. It's legendary, fam. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
This has been sick, fam.
Every time.
Come on, my brother. And yeah, man. You guys, thank you for tuning in. It's been a legendary one. Until next time, Sky.
Bless.